Mick fixes junk. It's for the games.
All right, folks, welcome back, or welcome to Mick Fixes Junk. And what we have on the bench today is an Atari ST 520 STFM. So this was my first computer ever when I was like 11. This one, it has some problems. I mean, I think what it is that it's the power supply. Because when you switch it on, this little light right here comes on for a second, the disk drive accesses, and then it just shuts down. I believe it's the PSU. I think it's a pretty common fix on these things. But I really want to get it up and running because, this is a fun computer. So let's get into it. First thing we want to do is take this thing apart. So I'm going to show you how you take an Atari ST apart. So let's do that first. Okay, so as I go, I'm going to be bagging and marking the bags because I like to do that. So I'm going to take out the back screws here. All right, so let's give it a little shakeroo. Am I actually right here? So we will do this little jiggery pokery. All right, so there we go, 520 ST. And what we're going to do once I have this apart, just so you know, is it worth hanging around? We're going to take it apart and remove the keyboard. To remove the keyboard, you just wiggle a little guy here, the end of the keyboard. We get all this heat shield off. I forgot power supply heat shield. That's the one that I forgot to label. So we'll get all these off, and then we're going to remove the entire power supply, and then we're going to bench test it. And we're going to bench test it under load using loading resistors of an appropriate ohmage. And that should do it. Is this? Oh yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, see what I mean? See this floppy? That floppy was, if you remove those 3 screws in the bottom, it'll actually just be loose in the case when you open it like this. So that's just an FYI. All right, let's see. Was that all of them? It does feel like it was all of them. Yep, all right, power supply, heatsink. Bye-bye. Okay, there's our power supply. You can see I only had 3 screws in that power supply heatsink because I do think this has been opened up before, either for a repair. I doubt for a replacement power supply, but it's definitely been opened up. And this is a DSP 508A power supply, which if you look on this guy, there's a guy called Exos, EXXOS.co.uk. And he just details these power supplies in detail. He details the power supplies in detail. So if you look on his website, you'll see exactly what this DSP 508 is. It is a pretty standard, or like the standard power supply for Atari STs from the 80s. But there's like another 5 variations of this power supply. And there's a ton of them. And there's one for the Mega ST and the Mega ST, the Falcon. You know, there's just a ton of them here. You see, some of these screws are shorter and some of them are longer. You know what? I haven't really thought about which ones are which, to be honest, when I'm taking these things apart. But you'll see there. Yeah, so the last, I can watch this back, it might help me. So this one and this one were shorties. See here, they're a little short, and then this one's a little longer. That must have been here. Okay, so, but they're all heat shield screws. and I can never remember which is which. And you know, I'm just careful when I'm screwing them in, just to make sure that I haven't hit a short version. Okay, there's another. Yeah, they're all short and long. And I'm actually missing a couple. You see 1, 2, 3 there. Oh, now of course, can I even get this off? Let's see. I want to see if I can get the power supply out of the unit without removing the floppy drive. I don't think I can actually, now that I remember. All right. So there's a little shield for the back of the, these are all RF shields. Okay. And so we're going to try and bench test this power supply. Am I going to be able to get this out without... This is annoying to get out as well, by the way. It is quite annoying to get out. Yeah, we're going to have to get this out of here. Let's have a look. Okay, well, you're going to learn with me. Okay. All right, let's get the floppy out. It's not the floppy that's bothering me, though, to be honest. Let me just see where I'm at so you can see what I'm doing. It's not the floppy that's really bothering me. You can't get this heat sink out, or this heat shield out, or RF shield, whatever it is, without the without removing some of these screws here. So it can be a little annoying. So look here. I'm actually missing some screws here that put this stand off. They're grounding screws. They might be important actually, but they don't appear to go anywhere. Let me just have a look at the back. No, they don't. They should go into the motherboard. Let me have a look there. I want to just check to see. There's 2 grounding screws back here for the power supply. I don't think, did they? No, I tried those before. I'll have to look at another disassembly video and see has anybody, because those are I feel like those are important. They are grounding screws. Let me just. Yeah, but the thing is that they're no different than the heat shields ones. Look, see, they're almost the exact same. Well, let me bring them up to you. They're almost the same, but if you put this back here, it just goes through the hole. It won't actually. So I'm gonna put these here anyway. But when I received this unit, it actually didn't have those screws, which are at the back there. Okay, so now this guy's lifting. He's lifting, which is good. But that pretty much doesn't do you anything, because he's lifting, but he's not going to come out of this housing. Why is that? Why won't he come out of that housing? I feel like I remember this, or I feel like I forget this. But you see, it's not coming up, not pulling out. So it should be actually coming up and pulling out of the housing for whatever reason. All right, let's put these heat shield screws. Oh, these 3 were power. All right, so let's mark them. You see here where this kind of gets handy. All right, 520 power shield. All right, it can just make the job so much easier, and you're wondering like, oh, did I lose a screw? Did I put the screw in the right place? And so, you know, I just like to do it because sometimes I'll be on a job and then I will completely not forget. I'll just get distracted. Something else will come in. I'll have to go fix it, and then or something more interesting will come in that I want to work on, and then front heat shield here, rear heat shield. Okay, well I didn't split them up, so they're both there. Plus it's kind of all over the place with these things. So. All right, so that was, I didn't anticipate that. Floppy shield. Oh. Oh, I guess I didn't. Yeah, the heat shield and the floppy. Yeah, it's all the one. Yeah, they're just all the same type of screw, so I guess I didn't need to do that. This is still here. All right, well, we definitely will want to, all right, let's remove this guy. I would have liked to just get him out altogether. Yeah, what am I screwing up here? I feel like when I've got this done, it'll have been an easier way to do this. I know I do want to get that shield out. So actually, this is what powers the board. So the board has 5 volts and 12 volts. Which is what we're going to test. It has 5 volts and 12 volts, and so that's what we're going to work on. And it delivers it to the board through that connector. All right. All right, so let's call that 520 power PCB. 520 power PCB. Okay. I don't think it's... This is also faster than watching back your videos. I know you're probably saying, well, if you're videoing this, you could just check it out, but it just means I don't have to have a video running when I'm reassembling it. Okay, so there we go. Huh. What am I missing here? Because I don't think I needed to take that apart. What am I missing here? Shield. Okay. Will the shield... Let me just put it back a little bit. Will the shield come up without... It won't. Oh my god, I've done this before. What am I missing here? Does this little... That doesn't come out. All right, so let's go up. Let's pull out this little... Interesting. I've done this before. What am I missing? Don't want to pull. That's the earth. And a power switch. Can't imagine how the floppy would help me. Oh God, I've done this recently, so now it's annoying me of like why I can't remember. Like why won't that come out? That's that. Come on, Mick. Come on. Come on. You know what? You know it's something simple here. So what have you done? Why are you not remembering this? Okay, that floppy definitely has to come out, I think, anyway. So let me just do that while I'm flopping the power thing on the ground here. Okay. All right. Let's get that out of there. Okay. Now, these are really long screws. They obviously go right up into the floppy drive. I was just thinking, is there anything here, just while I'm doing this, that's reminding me of what I need to do? Nope, not really. Oh, I do think I know now. Wait a second. I might not have needed to pull this out. I remember now what I did. I'll show you when I flip the board back over. Oh, actually, well, would I have been able to do this without the floppy? I don't know. That's annoying. All right. Okay, I'm gonna just leave the floppy flopping. Nope. There's the long screw. Okay. Yeah, so I just remembered. Now that I've got all the screws, it's the whole board can move, you see? So that's what I should have done. I should have just moved the whole board out. You see like that? Because now I have clearance to remove the heat shield. Okay, I'm gonna pull the floppy out just because it's in the way a little bit. All right. Okay, we'll just put the floppy over there. Out of sight. Now to remove the heat shield, a little bit tricky actually to remove the heat shield. We're going to just put it up here. I'm going to just put the motherboard up here. So it's got little clips and little things that it sort of like hooks into, which is can get tricky. So you see here, it all kind of comes up and you're like, oh great, this is just going to come off real easy. And then it just doesn't do that. You got to like clear the power thing, and then it'll get caught in something else, and then you're like, all right, well, what's it gonna call? It's got caught in the power switch. All right, why is that? Well, it can go further back, you can push further back. Oh, now I cleared the power switch and now it's out. Okay, I've done this a few times, so that's probably why it was less annoying there, but believe me, it can take time. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this over here. All right. Okay, now you'll see that I probably didn't need to remove the... Actually, could I bench test this in... Let me see here. I don't really want to do that though. Yeah, it looks like... No, let's not do that. I think this is the screw. There's a screw right back here. That is, whoop. I believe that that's what's holding it. Let me see if I'm right there or not. Haha. All right, now you see, I didn't need to remove those PCB screws. So I'm gonna put those back in. All right, rest of the board looks good. With the RF modulator there. This is an STFM, so it will just go directly into the antenna of an old CRT TV. All right, I'm kind of out of space now at this point, so I'm just going to put those here. I'm just going to put the motherboard up on the shelf, so just give me 1 second. Whoop. All right, we're back. And I'm just going to put the screws back into the power. To the PCB. It's a handy little screwdriver that I recently got. Let me have a look here now. If it was shorter, it'd be even better, but I guess the battery life would probably suck. Because I'm guessing it's 90% battery and 10% motor. Okay, so this video is going to cover just the bench testing. We're going to use an oscilloscope, multimeter. Hopefully this channel could be used to help people learn a little bit about electronics too. We're going to use like a multimeter, oscilloscope to check these things, and then there'll be another video which is a follow-up where we'll actually replace the caps and the I think There's a trioder rectifier in this as well, because this has clearly not been touched. I can just tell just by looking at it. I mean, obviously it's got the sticker for the electric shock thing on it. Okay, so power PCB, we know we didn't touch that. These little 3 screws. I mean, I don't need to label those, I know where they go. That's gonna be easy. These ones, I already forget where they go. But was it the power? Actually, 2 of them were for the power. So that's power grounding, and then the other one was actually one I used to compare to the PCB, now I remember. Yeah, there's shielding, power shield. I mean, all these screws are kind of the same. If I was an expert on Atari ST repair, I probably just would know what the deal is. Yeah, so let's see what's going on. It could be the case that power supply is in decent shape. I doubt it, but it could be. And then, because maybe that's why it was taken apart before. Now that I say that, though, the caps look like they haven't been replaced. Okay, so 520. PC power ground. Power GD. I don't know what that means. Power ground. Of which there are 2. And I wonder why there isn't 4. Maybe somebody who knows more about Atari STs than I do could be able to answer that. All right, there we go. Okay, so this is ready to bench test. I will tell you what the pinouts are here. We're going to plug this in direct, and then we're going to test the voltages out of here. Let me get my loading resistors. I'll show you what we're going to do with those. Where are my loading resistors? I had them here. Geez, have I lost those? That would suck. No, I have loading resistors. Are they underneath? Okay, I got to put all this stuff up on the shelf here. Okay. Whoa. I just gotta have to put this stuff up on the shelf so that it doesn't get wrecked sitting around. Okay, I don't see any loading resistors up there. I must have put them somewhere handy for me to get them. Where would I? What the? Oh, here they are. Okay. Loading resistors. Okay, I know I only got 2 of these. Yeah, they're heavy enough. All right, they're 100 watt, 8 ohm, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, let me see what it says on the thing. 8 ohm. Yeah, power 100 watt. Okay, the power, the wattage on them will determine how hot they get when we put them and load them on this board. You know, you've got low wattage, they'll probably be smaller, and then they'll get hot faster. And then this is my oscilloscope probe. So we could get, oh, this is great. Look at that. This is labeled. Okay, let me just, so this is labeled ground plus 12, plus 5 looks to be, oh, I'm colorblind by the way, so it's not going to help. Plus 5 over on the left, ground, plus 12. Okay. Rightio. Okay, so is there 2 plus 5 volts? There looks like there is, yeah. Okay, so it's pretty easy to see. That's good to know. So the black are ground, all right, so we can easily probe that. The blue right here is the plus 12. And then there's 2 plus 5s. So that's that. So what we'll be doing is we'll be plugging in 110 volt, because this is US on this side. And then we'll be measuring and testing the load on the 12 volt rail and both 5 volt rails, I guess, using a probe. And this is a probe right here. So, you know, I'm pretty confident that, yeah, see, it says little ground here. See it there? It's earth or ground. Oh, there, let's just see underneath it here so you can see what model I'm working on. Date 0790. That's interesting because that's different than the date, I think, of the actual machine. So that's interesting. Oh, I wonder if that's what they did when they opened it up. They might have just fired in a new power supply. Or a replacement power supply. And that's why it's all gum, you know, all the gum is there and all the stuff that you would see in an original power supply is there. Maybe that's what they did. Now, if they did do that, then why am I having problems? Okay, all right, we're gonna hold off for a minute while I get some hookup wire. Okay, so what we've got here is I've got a probe on the oscilloscope, and I'm going to take off the camera right now so we can all see what's going on. So, got my probe right here on the 12 volt line, and what happens when you switch it on the oscilloscope, you get 500 millivolts. You see there, pretty steady 500 millivolts. So let's just see what happens when we put it on the 5 volt line. Okay, so connected to one of the 5 volt lines, we've got 50 millivolts. It's basically nothing. And then let's just put it onto the other. Second now. I'm trying to get it attached to that, which is kind of awkward. Okay, so I've got it attached to the other line. Also 50 millivolts. So basically nothing on this, which means something's going on. So here's from troubleshooting this. I know now that even when it's plugged in, I don't get any, I don't get anything on the outside lines. Now, when this is connected to the Atari ST, if I really wrench on this input, the disk drive does come on and the unit does come on. So I think there might be a cold solder joint or something under here. So I'm just going to take this board. We're going to take a look underneath it and see if there's anything obvious here which would be causing that. Sorry, I'm just trying to look at the board and see if there's anything else obviously broken. Fuse is fine. That doesn't look blown. Nothing looks blown. It all looks reasonably okay. These guys, yeah, that looks very sturdy. Is this sturdy? It is. This is all sturdy. Say this guy here, it's kind of hard to see what's going on because it's hot glued. That does look a little sketch. I still don't know if that's a problem. But I can see plenty of little potential problem areas. So yes, we will need to tackle them, I think. Yeah, just reflow some of this stuff and just see if that helps. Actually, if I had the schematic, I could actually just debug it and I'd know exactly where the voltage went. By specifically checking each pin, because I would know like where. Yeah, that's where live enters the board, right? Live enters the board, goes through the fuse, goes to this side. Okay. From there, probably jumps over to this guy, the coils. Jumps, this guy comes over to the other side here. And then you just get into the regulation circuit, okay? All right, so now we're on to just reflowing some of the points. I'm happy enough with the work I've done so far. I've just done a little bit there. Nothing crazy, but you know, I'm just going over the parts that I was worried about. The pieces that when I had the board, not under a microscope, but when I had it just, you know, under the magnifying glass that I was a bit sketchy on. So just still looking here. I've done a couple of reflows already. Yeah, this guy I don't like. Let's get some flux on him. So you always want to remember you want to get your flux because it just helps the solder flow. Look at that piece. Okay, so it's that guy. All right, I'll have a look at that in a minute. Where else am I looking? Did I do this guy? Oh wow, he's a big boy. He doesn't want to melt. Okay, we'll keep going. I'm gonna just get this guy because he's a big one and he doesn't want to melt. Yeah, there we go. Okay, jeez, by the way, you should get an exhaust fan. We're doing this, I just didn't anticipate to be doing so much of this stuff this evening. Okay, let me have a look now. I'll examine the board once I've reflowed all this. that be enough here? Let's do these 2 points here. Okay. Rightio. Let's see what else we got. Got that chip. Interesting. Let's just clean that. Okay, let's have a look here. There's a couple I definitely wanted to do. Oh yeah, I think there's a couple here. This guy. All right, let's have a look. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll go over this with alcohol shortly once I've had a good shot at it. Okay, we'll do these two. You're just giving them a tip, really, you know, until the solder melts and reflows back onto the thing. I didn't have rosin on this one, or flux on this when I did it, so sorry. Let me just get that one again. Okay, let's do these three. I'm just touching them just for a few seconds, or a second or two. Let's get this guy. And you notice I haven't been refeeding new solder in there yet all the time. The good news about the flux is when you put the flux on, it makes it obvious where you've been and where you haven't been. So let's just go here. I've obviously not been here. Or if I have, I didn't put a lot of flux on it. Okay, let's put a couple here. Let's do these two guys. Now, these are interesting. They don't look like they have a lot of solder. I'll add a little more there. Okay. Okay, I'm still looking. These seem okay. These are actually the power wires. Let's just do them. Where are those? I have to look at that. Are those supposed to be joined together? There's two reds coming out there, which I know. Yeah, so those three grounds are supposed to be joined together. What about these two coming out? Oh no, it's a resistor. I guess that guy is just kind of connecting to a resistor. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Okay, nothing crazy. Pretty good. Let's do these 4 right here. This guy right here. And the guy beneath him. Okay, I've got most of the big ones at this point, so let's just switch off the iron just for a moment. Go over this with a brush and some alcohol and see where we end up. I'm just going to take a close look. All right. Okay, so that ends our quest of resoldering things on the top, and I don't feel like there's a need to resolder anything. Sorry, in the bottom, I don't see that there's a need to resolder anything on the top. So, I just don't want to mess with any of this on the top here unnecessarily. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little screw here and ground this corner, which is this is how this corner gets grounded. Whoops. Yeah, so that would want to be fairly tight actually. All right. And that should allow us to do our test, I think, yeah. Okay, so now that switches it on. Yeah, the soldering iron is off. Let's leave it up here on top. Really cool. That back here. Plug this guy in here. Oops. Would that be? No? Yeah, and he's not connected to anything. And this is a rubber mat. Put the stuff back on our guy here. And then, yeah, we will see if this explodes now that I've messed with it, which, things tend to do. Okay, let me clean my, just gonna spray this stuff a little bit, just get that alcohol and get that stuff off my freaking hands. Flux is pretty rough. All right, so let me get this magnifying glass off my head. Okay. All right. So, okay, I'm going to give it the good old 220 volts. I've got my measuring apparatus right here. Millivolts AC. Okay, let's give it a go. All right. It should be on right now. $137. Now something's changed. Oh. Okay, now we've got, this is live right now, so just to show you. See, there's a red sticker here. This 157 volts. Well, sorry, we go to AC. 137 volts AC. So that's all right. So don't try this at home, kids. All right. Although, why is it only 147? Because this is 220 in. Okay, let's just check the DC outputs. So pick a ground pin, and then let's go with a red pin. 5.5 volts on that. Second red pin. 5.5 on that. Okay. That means we can load that to test it. Blue pin. 1256 DC. That's good. That is good. We can load that to test it. All right, this is good, folks. This is good. This is an improvement on what we had. Yeah, so that's interesting. All right, let's see what's next. Okay, so now we're going to test the 5-volt circuit loaded. So, you know, you would normally have the Atari ST reading disk, powering up the motherboard, etc., etc. So now we're going to test to see what this... you only want to do this for a few, for like 30 seconds or so. And we just want to see like what is the voltage... what's the voltage drop, basically. Actually, we can kind of test it by just doing that, actually. Just touching those two. Although, I would rather not do that one in the middle of it. Oh, my VHS is finished. Okay. All right, let's make sure nothing explodes. Okay, now let's test the voltage in DC across this. $515. That is good. That's really good. Okay. Off. Now, so that's a pretty good draw that this 8 ohm resistor would draw from that. We can do a calculation and find out. But now we're going to draw from the 12 amp. Let's see what that looks like. Or from the 12 volt rail, I should say. Okay. Another 12 volt rail under load. 1172. That's good. Is this getting hot? No, it's not. $11.72. Okay, that's not bad. I think this power supply is good. I think maybe the reflow may have repaired it. So let's see what happens if we put this thing back in. I'm gonna plug it out. Okay, let's put this sucker back together because it might actually work. Okay, so step one of putting this sucker back together is getting this whole thing all realigned and kind of in there. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to take this motherboard out a little bit. I feel it. Actually, you know what? Let me just pull it out a little bit altogether so that I can really maneuver it. Oh, that's way better. Okay. Huh. Now, don't I have like a single screw? Oh, where did I put that now? Oh boy. There's a little single screw that goes right there at the back to keep this thing on in the thing. But let's just get the PCB back first. Because to test this out, whoa. Well, that's interesting. Why don't you go back in your little hole? Okay. And then I guess you can go back here. And these don't have a ground. You see this here? This screw should really be turned quite vigorously because this actually is the ground plane for the PCB. So yeah, so there. Or the ground plane for the power PCB, I should say. So tightening these down wouldn't really help at all, but tightening the ground plane screw probably would. Okay, where did I put all the screws that I had in little baggies? Here they are. Here's all my little baggies. Power PCB, we don't need that. Power shield, we probably don't need that to test it out. 520 power ground. Okay, we do need that. Just empty. Heat shield. Front case. Rear case. Floppy drive. Do we have anything else here? It doesn't look like it. It looks like all the screws. Where did I put the screw that goes in the back of this thing? That would be a shame if I lost that. Because it goes just right there. It's a single screw. If I watch the video back, I bet you I'll find it. Let me just put this over here and see. You know, I don't even know if I need to put it back into the case, to be honest with you. Power shield. 520 power shield. Yeah, that's the shield. Yeah. Okay. Now, that's weird. Where did I put that screw? Oh god, that's a pain. I hope I didn't lose that. Because that's a nifty little handy one. I'll just put the alcohol over here. Okay, power PCB, we know, yeah. Power ground, yeah, we need those. Power shield, yeah, we know where those go. Rear case, front case. I guess it could be one of these. Maybe I threw it in there. Maybe I thought I had a spare. Maybe I forgot that I took out that screw. That would be my bad. Okay, well, either way, I think we'll be fine. So, testing this unit out. Okay, we want to put that in there. Okay. I have a... Can we test that unit out with just that there? I guess I could put the shield on. I don't really need it though. Okay, we'll figure this out. But I think I can test it with all that monkey muck. I can just put this guy in here and put the... Let's just get this guy. Actually, is it this way? No, I think it's this way. Yeah, that's right. And then the IDE. Actually, wow, they look really funny, don't they? Did I bend those? Oh dear. That's probably not good. Yeah, it looks like they're a little bent. Well, I don't think I bent them. I think they might be just bent. And then they just kind of, that's just the way they ended up. All right. Keyboard. Whoop. Keyboard. I believe you go in this way. Yeah, that feels about right. Yeah, that should be enough, I think, to boot it. You know, it's not fully assembled, but I don't know that it needs to be. I would want to ground the PCB. There we go, power ground. I do wish I could find the little screw, but that's okay. So I'm going to well, that didn't do anything. Oh, I guess, does it need to screw into something? I guess it needs to screw. Yeah, I guess it needs to screw into something on the. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, well, I got to put it into the case at least then. So let's just do that. Well, maybe I don't, but I'm just going to. Actually, I probably do because I can see that it's a mechanical. Let's bring this back over here so you can see. I just slipped it into the case there real quick. It is a mechanical fix grounding. So, yeah, there we go. So what happens is this is going to connect, this screw is going to connect to the bottom of this case. Yeah, see, like that. And it's going to pull, it looks like it's a ground point, and then it just connects the ground of the PCB to the ground of the motherboard mechanically with the screws. So now we should have like a decent grounding point. Actually, this is a little better because the keyboard is now sitting as if it, is in the unit. All right, so this is not plugged in yet. That's okay. Now, let me just get my... my special patent pending that I can't find now. Oh, here it is. This is... Oh my God, it's caught up in the mouse. Which incidentally I probably also need to plug in. But I'm not going to plug that in until I see a gem desktop. That'll be my victory. If I actually see it. Okay. Oh. Okay, so this is a special monitor cable this way up from a special place in the UK that does this thing. Now we're going to need the OSSC. We're going to need the OSSC. Where did I leave that? Oh dear. Yeah. Well, you know what? Before we get the OSSC, let's see if this thing actually even switches on first time. So here we go. Moment of truth. Let's see what you guys see. Okay, so we should hear like disk access, strong LED lights right here at the keyboard. Oh, don't blow up. Oh yeah. That's completely different. That's completely different from before. Okay, let's find the OSSC. Okay, so this fixed it. This worked. But I can't see output yet because I need to plug in an OSSC to SCART and get all that mucky muck hooked up. I don't even know where I left that OSSC. The OSSC is a device for kind of connecting retro computers to things. And I definitely need it if I want to have a look at this. So, but the good news is that we are further than we were before. We are further than we were before. This OSSC is probably down here somewhere. Let me see. Where would I have left that? Where would I have left that? Come on. Oh! In my tech box? Nope. Dang, where would I have left the OSSC? Look in here. Left it up here. You know, I had it right. Okay, let me come back. Where did I leave this? All right, I found it. It was just in the drawer. Okay, so this is an OSSC. It might help. It might help in this situation. So let's see, what are we going to do here? So what would happen is SCART right here. Sorry, we go SCART into the OSSC. You can actually leave the OSSC here so you can see what's going on. When I power it up, where's this going to? This is going to... Sorry, I'm just trying to find power for the OSSC right now. All right. Okay. Okay, that will give me power for the OSSC. All right, let's see, do I have a sync signal? I do. RGVBS, if you look right here. RGBS 1313P, 15.66, 50 kilohertz. So, and it's stable. So this is a whole new ball of wax. All right, we got to switch everything off right now because I got to go in here and I don't want to get electrocuted. So let's switch everything off. RGBS no sync, that's fine. I'm not expecting a sync. Let's get our HDMI out of this. Oops. Yep, out of this. And then we will want, this to go into the monitor. And let's just hope for the best, I guess, that that we can get a HDMI signal from the Atari ST. And if we do, I'll be so pleased. Because number one, I don't have to ask the seller of this for money because I fixed it. Come on. Oh, I hate doing this stuff blind. I really do. I wish I would. Oh, there it is. I did it. Okay, I'm happy. I won't have to ask the seller of the Atari ST for like money or anything. yeah, just things would be just awesome. All right, nothing on the screen. Nothing on the screen. But it's okay. Something is connected, or I'm getting like a signal out of it. But it could be that the OSSC is not able to display the signal to this NTSC monitor. Let's just see what happens. Do I have to do anything specific here? Can I actually change the, okay. HDMI, yes, we've done that. Is there other menu items though? No, there is not on the Predator. Yeah, I would have to put this, I could try putting this into another monitor. I just don't know if it would work. Yeah, it's definitely synced to the source. So what would happen before would be that it would lose sync with it. Like, I mean, the Atari ST wouldn't even stay switched on. So power supply is good. I think what happened was in shipping or just dried out or whatever, and then the reflows just solved the problem. All right. Well, maybe for another day then. It's for another day to try and see what exactly we can do to get an image here. But this Atari ST, I think, is at least booting up. We just don't have an image. So all good. And we know the power supply is good because we loaded it. And yeah, I think we can call it a night for now. Go get some crisps and Coke. All right. Take it easy.